Hi everyone. So I decided I was going to pre-record this, but my camera app is being really funny, of course, a little laggy, so it makes it hard. So I wanted to share with you guys how I open sacred space. And I do this whether I do reading, healing, well, even for myself, I do all the time. Um, and it's just an interesting way to show there's all kinds of tools that can be used. When I open sacred space, I don't think it's ever the same each time. Um, and what I do when I start out is sometimes I'll light an incense. I love patchouli, so I do patchouli forest a lot. But sometimes frankincense and all kinds of different incenses. Um, I don't always though, but I do always light 4 candles. Sometimes 5. A lot of times when I do readings, I have a smaller candle that I use, and the 4 candles for each of the directions are just the tall dollar store candles, so that's nice. So there's not a lot of cost in that. But what I do is I will light the candles, turn the light off in here, and I will start getting myself into uh, altered type of state. Um, I do oftentimes use this beautiful smudge fan, and I will use sage to go through this space to clear it out, so to speak, and myself. I do that first. Now, at times, it depends on how quickly, if I had a kind of a rough day or I've got a lot on my mind, it takes me a little longer to get into this altered state. So at times, I will drum to get myself there. Most of the time, I don't, though. Most of the time, what I will do, and I'll rattle too sometimes, but I will use my wand, and this kind of works as a rattle. So what I do then is I will go to each direction. So if I go to the winds of the south, which is Sachamama, and I will kind of, a lot of times I hum, and a lot of times I will sway. Just gets me in that beautiful altered type of being, and I will call the Sachamama. And I will sing. And this is different each time too. So, see, off the top of my head, an example would be, Sachamama, you who help us to shed that which we no longer need. Please coil your lights around us so that we may shed like you shed your skin. And then usually there is more to it. Sometimes I get a little over when it's just me, a little long. I will then go to the west, which has been my favorite recently, the jaguar. So that's Odorongo, and Chokachinchi as well, spirit bear. And Odorongo comes from the place of the dying sun. So I will call to her, and I will ask her to come and help to find that, anything that we need to work on, our shame, our guilt. Uh, Odorongo helps us to walk in the shadows without fear, helps us to walk in lightness and darkness, life and death, with integrity and peace. Then I will turn to the north, and I will call upon hummingbird. And interesting, a lot of times I'll add in butterfly for transformation, just something I've done. But ancestors, ancient ones, I will ask them to come into the sacred space of healing. And I will think, and I always say, I honor those who came before me, those who come after me, our children and our children's children. And a lot of this I've gotten from Amy from the shamanic course, Whispers on the Wind, and just added my little bit to it. And then, oh, hey, Jackie. And what I will do then is I will thank Hummingbird for showing sweetness in life. And then I turn to the east, and that is Apuchin, which is a great eagle, and the condor, which is Kantor, and those that can't come from the rising sun. And I will thank them for so beautifully showing us how we are all connected, that those that fly so beautifully in the space between heaven and earth. And then I will go to Pachamama, Mother Earth, and I will thank her for holding us so sweetly, for holding us on with our first breath all the way into our last breath. Thank her for all of her creations being our relations, the winged, the furred, two-legged, the four-legged, the plant people, the beautiful trees. I'm definitely a tree person. And thank her for the gifts that she has given us, the sustenance and all the different medicines from all of the brothers and sisters that we have. Hiya! And then I will go up to the spirit world. And this is where it's a little different for me. So I will thank Grandfather Sun, Grandmother Moon, Star Nations, Star Brothers, and Star Sisters, angels, archangels, our spirit guides, gods and goddesses. And that's where some people are more religious. I am more religious to all, I guess. I don't know, spiritual. So, and sometimes I will call certain deities to come and help me as well. But I will thank them for being there, for being just a request away from coming to help us when we're in need. And I will thank the gods and goddesses for sending their angels to keep the space sacred and holy. And then I will close it off. And when I do that for each direction, I will use Florida water and spit it out of my mouth in that direction as an offering. And if I don't have the Florida water, I will use sage as an offering. And after that, I put myself into more so that altered being, altered space, and I will call to my guides who are always with me, my lion, and I've got, don't laugh, Aslan. He said I named him as a child from Chronicles of Narnia, of course. And he said that is the name that I've given him, and that's what I should stick with. So I've got Aslan, and I've got Ginny, and Locan are the three that I am most connected with, that I can talk to whenever. I've also got a beautiful Mayan woman who I am starting to connect more with, and then a grandmotherly type one. So I will call to them to assist. Now, if I'm doing a reading for somebody, then I'm wanting to get information. So that's why I've been connecting so much with Otorongo, with Mother Sister Jaguar. So I will ask Otorongo to come with me to help me to get the messages. And I will say, any and all spirits who have the highest good of all, please walk with me so that we may find the answers or some guidance for this person. And each direction I also will say the person's name that I'm doing a reading for. I will say where they were born and what we're looking to get. And then from there, I lay down, and that's where I put myself into, somebody call it the astral, type of travel, where I journey. And I usually have crystals. I will put an amethyst above my head, either a Super 7. I've used a few different ones that I will put right here. My head is always on my mesa when I do this. And I will travel. I will go to the middle world, to my power place. And then I will either go to the lower world or the upper world for this message. And about 75% of the time, maybe more, it's the lower world. But there are times where I try to go to the lower world and I can't get a message there, so I have to go up to the upper world. And sometimes I go to both. And that is how I do this. And then when I get out of that, I still am in this kind of altered state. I have the message. I did the journey. Ooh, excuse me. So I will write down in a notebook so I don't forget while I do the tarot reading or oracle reading. And then I will sit down and I will ask for guidance as well, a lot of the times from Hecate, to assist me in this divination. And then I go through that. I write everything down, type it all up, can call sometimes, video chat with a person, and that usually takes me, for one reading, it's about 2 hours. So, and when I do it for myself, oh geez, it can be 30 minutes to 3 hours, depending on what I'm working on. Some of the journeys for myself, especially if there's healing involved, take quite a long time. So if you guys have any questions, comments, anything, let me know. Thank you.